So be listening and then call, and good luck. I hope you get yourself qualified, and I hope you win our free trip to Costa Rica. Just for qualifying, you win tickets to Brookfield Zoo, okay? And our thanks to Raybine Paving, TopDogFranchise.com, and the Bath Shop in Palatine. Mike North, our visit brought to you by the fine folks at American Mattress. Good morning, Mike.
What's going on, guys? By the way, before we move on, John, I just want to tell everybody that this little conversation we're going to have will be on north2north.com by noon today with the handsome John Howell and the very beautiful Amy Jacobson. Their pictures will be displayed prominently. Just want to let you know that. And second place is Brookfield Zoo. First place is Costa Rica.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. I think I know which one I want. It will be fun to when the three of us go down there. It's going to be awesome.
First prize is a Cadillac. Second prize is a steak knife set.
Okay, I got those.
Third prize, you're fired.
I have those too. I have all three.
Okay.
We've experienced them all three of us have.
Oh, what's going on, kids?
All right, Mike, I'm on pins and needles.
Yes.
I'm a big NFL football fan. What's going on between them and the Players Association? I know they agreed to a 24-hour extension, but explain what's going to happen.
Okay, what's going to happen now, guys, is it's a 24-hour extension, but the players have already asked for another 7 to 10 days extension, okay? So the owners know that going in. The owners will not deny them that. So we're playing with another 10, 12 days. I think they're going to keep talking. I think they're getting a little bit closer than people realize. The 24 hours, believe me, folks, if they don't get anything done, you're going to have another week and a half of talks. They know it's too important. President Obama weighed in last night saying, I don't believe I need to intervene. Well, we don't want this thing to take forever, so we don't want him to intervene. It's good the way it's going now. They got a federal mediator named Cohen. Seems to be a guy from Minnesota that leans more towards the player's side. But that being said, I don't think at the end of the day, this will get into the regular season. It's starting to look like now these guys realize this would be a bad public relations move on both sides.
But don't you think both sides are going to have to give concessions for this to work?
Absolutely, they're going to have to both give concessions. What I would like to see is that basically the 18-game schedule is something that's very, very huge still on the table. Players saying you care so much about us, yet you won't raise our insurance, you won't add on to the rosters, and you want us to play 18 games. How are you trying to stop injuries when you have us playing 2 more games than normal? I believe the system is good now. I'm not an owner, but it looks to me like the owners want a bigger piece of the pie. They believe they deserve it. They're the ones that take the risk when they buy it. What kind of risk are you really taking when you buy a team in the National Football League? So we'll see what happens, but cooler heads prevail, and this DeMaurice Smith has done a good job along with Kevin Mawai from the New York Jets and Jeff Saturday from the Indianapolis Colts, who are also on the executive board of the Players Association.
Kind of reminds me of what's going on in Washington. It's like they keep going, well, we'll continue a resolution for 2 weeks and we'll get back to you on it.
Right. At least know they're not going to say after, because you know what? The Players Union was going to decertify, John. Now, if the Players Union decertifies, then Congress can get involved. A lot of other people get involved. They're talking about it. Once you decertify, you have no talks, and then there's other legalities that you can do. You're absolutely right, though. It sounds like, to me, at least they're buying time. Now, you can buy time, but are you going to do anything with that time? We'll find out.
Mike North, I want to get your take on this BYU student that now has been tossed off the basketball team. We were talking about it earlier, and Amy thinks, like, look, the guy was truthful. He came forward. He fessed up to having premarital sex with his girlfriend. She thinks he should be able to continue to play. I thought rules are rules. How do you stand on this?
Rules, 1,500 years of religion. Amy wants to destroy that in one day. And I understand where Amy's coming from. The times have changed, but not at Brigham Young. Steve Young followed the rules. Okay, a lot of great players have followed the rules. Jim McMahon.
Come on.
Jim McMahon. He was never caught, but Glenn Kozlowski tells an interesting story. Glenn Kozlowski was caught in 1981. He was put on a year suspension. He was going to leave the school. He decided, you know what, I'm going to reinstate. I'm trying to get reinstated in the year because he met a girl. He ended up marrying that girl because he followed the honor system. They've been married 29 years. They have 4 kids.
Wow. Yeah, and I noticed, and I was telling John this, that a lot of BYU athletes are married.
Oh, yeah, and they know the rules, Amy. They know the rules. They're laid out. And like Steve Young said yesterday, who's one of the more famous BYU athletes, you know 1,500 years of religion when you come in. You're offered this, and there's nothing wrong with being on an honor system. If the kid did break the rules, I'm sorry it happened because I believe that's a big loss for their team. He's their leading rebounder. And Jimmer Fredette misses, I don't know if they're going to win it now. I mean, you can't lose a rebounder like this. They rebound by committee, but it is damaging to this basketball team, as we saw the other night.
But he is the third leading scorer. I mean, averaging 11 points. They're ranked third in the country now, and I think it's over. But do you think they'll allow him back next year?
That
if he
could
abstains
happen.
from premarital sex. I mean,
He could be reinstated if he wants to be. That's what Glenn Kozlowski did. I don't know how serious the allegations are. I guess, he did have sex with his girlfriend. Most people are shaking their heads today, but they have to understand the culture at BYU. And BYU's had that culture forever. And you know what? I applaud them for. There's other schools that do this, but, it is unusual for somebody to say, hey, man, we may not go all the way in the tournament. Let's keep this guy on.
If he comes back next year, all he has to do, my understanding, is declare himself a born-again virgin.
All right, yeah, well, you know what?
John
I
knows
believe
way
that
too well
happens
about
after.
that.
Yeah, John, I think that happens after 10 years of marriage.
I hear you, brother. All right, thank you, Mike. Have a great weekend.
All right, guys. Bye, Amy. Bye, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye, dear.
Mike North, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock, AM 560, WIND.